The environment in which I grew up did not promote school, did not promote education. Most kids I played around with, school didn't mean anything. But I was raised by parents who insisted on two things if you were to live in their house. You had to go to school and you had to go to church. If you take my mother, for instance, she homeschooled me for, I think, 3 years before I started actual grade 1 at that time. During my time, you could not go into grade 1 below the age of 7. So the whole time you're in the village, you're in the compounds until the age of 7. But when I was about 4, she started teaching me how to read and write from home. So by the time I was starting my grade 1, I actually I had known how to read and write. And so my primary school wasn't a big problem for me because I went in already knowing how to read and write. I was taught from home. But the thing that made the big difference, if you look at the entire span of my life and to where I am today, the biggest difference was education. Like somebody said, education is the best equalizer. It's actually true. For me, literacy gave me an opportunity to compete. It gave me an opportunity to even have access to opportunities. And I think that in life, what you really need is an opportunity. But then, even if you get those opportunities, if you're not literate, you're not educated, you don't have skills, basically per se, it becomes a bit of a challenge. Others argue that people don't need education to succeed. I tend to disagree, and here's why I disagree. Education has put a lot more people on the success path than people who are not educated. BookBus is doing a very challenging job. To get the Zambian population or the Zambian young people interested in books in an environment where there's no deliberate program. For example, if my mother did not insist that I read books at home at the time I was a kid, I don't think I would have read a single book. I don't think I would have even been interested in school at all. But then somebody needs to do it. You need to start from somewhere, and I think that I would only encourage you to continue. I was a teacher for a few years, and it was one of my most fulfilling jobs that I've ever done. And I think that teaching is probably next to medicine, if not at par. It's one of those jobs where you impact people's lives for life. And for me, what I found helpful was that, first of all, be patient. Second of all, children learn at different rates. Some are fast learners, some are slow. And those that are slow, the teacher needs to be next to them and show them how. Those that are fast, let them learn on their own. Yeah, so that was my method. And for me, it worked. I can tell you this. I run a Facebook page. If on my Facebook page, I write an article that is more than 4 paragraphs long, no one will read it. If I write an article that is 2 paragraphs long, it will be misunderstood. Yeah. So I've seen that generally speaking, the reading culture is very bad across the board. And it's not that people can't read per se. I think just people don't like to read. Here's the medical advice I can give somebody who wants to improve their reading. First of all, diet. Eat well, rest, okay, get enough sleep, eat plus exercise. But above all, read. How do you improve your reading without reading? Yeah, so you must still read. It's not enough to have all these things I have said and then you're avoiding books. You must read. It's the only way to improve your reading. Let's all read with the BookBus Zambia.